Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Alright, so today I'm taking a look at the Milspin COVID Key. Could this be a life-saving tool or just a useless gimmick? Now before I let you guys know my thoughts on this thing, I went back and forth whether I should monetize this video or not. I didn't really want to capitalize on a video based on our current health situation. But then again, I thought I'm a pretty small channel. If I don't monetize, no one's ever going to see this. So I have decided I'm going to monetize this video, but I'm going to give 100% of the ad revenue that I earn to the research to try to find a treatment or vaccine to this virus. So that being said, let's start the video. Alright, so Milspin sent the COVID key to me in a pretty awesome box. Seriously, check it out. So we have some of the Constitution on the back here, but when we open it up, check this out. Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself. There you go. Alright, so if you guys have spent any time on social media, I'm sure you've seen ads for this COVID key. So that's exactly where I first saw this thing. So I had to grab one just to test it out and let you guys know what's up with this. So what exactly is this? It's basically a brass hand extension to keep your hands away from touching surfaces that might have viruses or germs on it. And it's actually a very well thought out design. So how does this help? Well, it's made of 260 brass alloy. 260 brass alloy is made of 70% copper and 30% zinc. So having those antimicrobial properties of copper, germs can only live on this thing for about 4 hours. Now, since I saw the first ad from Milspin, I've seen a lot of copycats pop up. Milspin says that they are the originators of this design. Whether that's true or not, I'm not really sure, but they are the first company I've seen with this design. Now, I tried to go back to Milspin's website where they were selling this, but the page is taken down. I'm not exactly sure why, so I had to go back to their Facebook page and make sure they didn't take anything else down. Everything's still there. Now on their Facebook page, they say this can open doors, flip switches, pull levers, push buttons. They say you can even sign a touchscreen pad with it. So the idea is to keep this in your pocket or put it on your keychain. So right here we have a spot for a keychain ring, and we have one right here. So if you want to actually put it on your keychain, put it on there, and there you go. And it's actually a pretty nice design. You put your forefinger through the loop, and you have a spot for your thumb with the jimping on top. And you can either push a button, pull door handles, or even just push down on things with this little end piece. And for the most part, it actually works very well. Now, I took this out into the real world a couple days ago. I'm gonna let you guys know what I think about it. But first, how much does this thing weigh? So if you're gonna have this on your keychain or in your pocket, make sure it doesn't weigh you down too much. All right, let's tear it out, drop it on. All right, so it weighs 1.6 ounces, and that would be 46 grams. All right, so just so you guys know, I didn't just go out to a store just to test this key out. I actually had to go out for some food, and I figured it's a perfect time to actually test this guy out. All right, so first off, in the produce section, the scales that weigh your fruit. This thing actually works perfectly. I mean, as you can see here, pushing the buttons on this touchscreen wasn't a problem at all. It was actually very fast and fluid. It was just like having a stylus in your hand. So at that point, I figured everything was good with this key. And then it became time to check out. And as you can see here, the payment touchscreen, it just wasn't registering at all using the COVID key. And because none of my taps were registering, I actually had to push the button with my finger. So they claim you can sign touchscreens with this. I didn't have a chance to do that just because it wasn't registering at all. All right, so you can see here, I have an iPad. So let's see if it works on this. And see what I'm saying? It just does not want to register any of my inputs here. If I tap, no matter which button, it just doesn't register. So it all basically depends on what kind of touchscreen you're using. The touchscreen on the scale in the produce section is one of those soft screen pads. And you guys know what I'm talking about. The screen that's really soft when you press it. You can actually see the screen cave in. As opposed to the screen on my iPad or the screen at checkout. It's more of a hard screen, kind of like on your cell phone. So if it's one of those hard surface screens, this key just will not work, at least in my tests. So check out the front here. And it's just all brass, as you can see. And that's for good reason. Like I said, it has antimicrobial properties. Anything you touch with this, germs are just gonna die off of it within 4 hours. And to use a hard screen, you're gonna need some kind of a rubber piece or silicone piece at the end to actually register. That kind of takes away from the properties of this key. Because germs will live on rubber or silicone a lot longer than they'll live on this brass key. So it just doesn't make sense to put one of those tips on the end here. But what's really weird is I tested my Nest door lock outside of my house here, and at first it actually registered on the Yale button. So you can see when I press it, it actually locks my door. And then when I press it again, it brings up the keypad. But when I tried to press the numbers on the keypad, it absolutely wouldn't register. And then I went back and tried to press the Yale button again, wouldn't register again. So it's a little inconsistent. But opening my door handle, this thing works like a charm. You can see this little extension right here. It's just easy to grab anything. Any door handle like this, you basically grab onto it, push down and pull. It works perfect. But obviously it's not gonna work on any doorknobs. It's gonna work great if you work in a place with elevator buttons, pushing the button on a hand dryer in the bathroom, or even one of those paper towel dispensers. I think it's gonna work great. So is this COVID key something that you have to run out and buy right now? Not really. Yes, it does have its purposes. Testing this out on touchscreens, it's a little inconsistent. Some worked great, some didn't work at all. Using it on a door handle or pushing buttons, absolutely works great. But is it $25 great? I mean, what did germaphobes do before the invention of this key? Well, good old-fashioned tissue paper. What's to say I couldn't grab a piece of tissue paper and open a door handle or a doorknob or push buttons at a keypad? Nothing at all. It's just a little wasteful to take this, open a door handle, and throw it away. So in that sense, it is saving tissue paper and not being wasteful. But are you gonna pay $25 for a key that realistically you're not gonna use too often? You might even forget it's in your pocket unless you are a germaphobe and you absolutely need to have something like this. Alright guys, that's pretty much it. What do you guys think of the Milspin COVID Key? In some respects, it's actually a great tool to have, especially if you're a germaphobe. And in a time like this where this virus is running rampant, having something like this in your pocket could potentially save your life. But at the same time, it is a little gimmicky. Like I said before, are you really gonna have this in your pants pocket or on your keychain if you're not a germaphobe? Eventually, fingers crossed, they're gonna find a treatment or a vaccine to this virus. And if you're not a germaphobe, you're probably not gonna need something like this. And if you are still worried, you can protect your hands from doorknobs and buttons with simple tissue paper. Now, I will leave a link below to the Milspin website where I grabbed this, but currently right now, it's not available. Like I said before, the page is mysteriously down. It's just gone. But the Milspin COVID Key is still listed in their menu. But if you guys did enjoy this video, please give me that thumbs up. Please subscribe, and go!